Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Vernon Jones with Faith Bridge, and welcome to our JusticeCast today. Joining me in the room are Yesica Escalante, who is our Chief of Advocacy, and Bryton Washington, who is a part of our college intern team, and he leads our advocacy work in Aurora Public Schools. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Good to see all of you guys here as we are live here with our first Justice Cast, technically, of season 4, as we get this all going. It's a lot to talk about, but we're gonna start in a fun space. You know, we got our college, one of our college intern team members here, Bryton. Bryton, tell folks about you. This is the Faith Bridge Justice Cast dating show. No, it's not. So we're gonna put Bryton out there. No, Bryton, you are a student. Where are you a student at?
I'm currently at Regis University. I'm finishing up my sophomore year here in a couple weeks, actually. So
How's that going?
it's going great. Finals week is coming up, so all the big projects, all the stuff you need to really focus on is coming up. You got to take it serious, study for all your exams and finals. But
Are you a procrastinator, Bryton?
I'd say a little bit.
A little bit?
I like to say I work best under pressure.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, I get my best work done, a week before the deadline.
Yeah, that's great. That's
It hasn't
great.
failed me yet, but next semester I'm gonna have to plan out a little bit more.
Yeah, planning's actually good. Planning's actually good. So, what courses are you taking right now that in your sophomore year? If you're talking to kids who are looking at college, sophomore year looks like what? What's your course load look like?
Sophomore year, I was lucky enough to kind of know what I was doing, what I wanted to do in my first year. So a lot of my courses now are related directly to my major,
Which is?
biology, biology lab, chemistry, lifespan of human development, and then also a nutrition class.
Okay, all right. Yeah, nutrition class. Does it tell you not to eat hot Cheetos or hot chips in
Yeah.
your nutrition class?
We've taught Yesica a lot about not eating hot chips all day.
Boo.
They're terrible for you.
Yeah,
actually.
but
They're part of my pyramid food group.
yeah, there we
They're
go.
at the
To
top.
change that.
I was gonna say you're gonna have a battle there. You're gonna have a hard battle. So Bryton, if you graduated from Vista Peak in Aurora, and when you were ready to go to Regis, what was there shock when you got to campus? Is it a different world? Like, were you ready, or are you like, whoo?
I would say it wasn't, for me personally, it wasn't that much of a shock. I feel like I've kind of always been an independent person. But what was a shock was the amount of freedom you get in college. And I feel like the amount of freedom you get and that adjustment kind of makes it a little harder
Yeah.
on you. Like the teachers, they don't care if you're in class, they don't care if you're not in class. But if that's up to you, if you miss class and then you can't be mad if you get a 50% on your exam. You can't be mad if you're failing the class and have to retake it. And when you have to retake class, you always have to pay more money. So,
Right.
I
So
wouldn't wanna take that.
procrastination might not be a good
yeah,
thing.
procrastination may not be the best. I've been fortunate enough to get by, but I got to start planning out way better.
That's
and
good.
time
That's
it.
good. So you also get to, with us, you get to do some work with the Aurora Public Schools.
Mm-hmm.
Since you graduated from there, you get to do some advocacy work there. What does that look like?
So we're doing a lot of advocacy stuff. We have a big in-community engagement community board meeting at Aurora Central, actually on Tuesday, April 21st at 6 p.m. So inviting everyone that would like to come. And it's just been kind of fun, kind of filling into my role. I've built relationships with President Duncan, Kristen Mallory, Vicky Reinhardt, and so on. They're gonna actually be in the upcoming video. But yeah, just being able to take our values that we have here and being able to implement them not only in DPS but also in APS.
Nice.
And being able to care for those kids as well.
Great. Speaking of advocacy, and it's good to have our chief of advocacy of all things. We're doing a lot of stuff going on at the state, Yesica, and what's that look like, and how's that been going? And
Yeah, our students have created HB 261055, so that's kind of our main focus, trying to get that passed. Right now, it's sitting in appropriations, but hopefully we could that'll get scheduled on the calendar here soon. And then other than that, we're just watching for other education bills and other bills that kind of align with our mission and vision and values of kids thriving, learning in great schools, so they could achieve their hopes.
Great. What's that experience been like to you? I know this is, I think this was our third advocacy day that we hosted, but what has it been like to kind of really be a part of that flow at the Capitol and those very busy and brilliant people there? Yeah,
it's been a great experience. I think just being able to sit down and quite literally just knock on their doors and come into their offices and talk to them has been really great. They're very accessible. They are able to really listen out what you are advocating for. And I think the relationships that we've built, we've had like 60, 70 something coffees up until this point, and we've really talked to a lot of legislators and a lot of like the aides that really kind of drive the work behind the legislators
Let's
as
hear for
well.
the aides. Come on, calm down. Let's hear for the aides out there.
Yeah, exactly. Keeping all the schedules, doing, all the back end work. So it's been great being able to talk to them and to really, learn more from them as well.
Yeah, and we've learned that those aides survive on energy drinks and energy drinks. It's the Celsius is like the choice drink of the aides down there. I don't know how healthy that is, Bryton.
Yeah.
Maybe you could go down there and
Terrible
talk.
for you.
Terrible, yeah.
Not good.
Bryton can go down there and talk about some healthy stuff with them. But that's what we found out the aides down there are surviving on. So, it's kind of like a wah-wah, like that. They should stay away from that. Water, though, they should stay hydrated.
Water is great
right?
for you. And sleep.
We got a chance to go down there with some of our partners. I got my children's campaign, a Walla here thing. And we got to go down there with the children's campaign for Speak Up for Kids Day. That was great, right? Good to have partners in the work there. So we got a lot of stuff going on. I really applaud what we're doing there. So that's APS. We got some stuff going on at DPS. DPS, we've just had the borders having their regional meetings. We've had Central Denver, Southeast Denver, and just had Northwest Denver the other night with Director Marlene De La Rosa, and then we got two more coming up. Director and President Sochi Gaitan will have her meeting at Florence Critton on 429 at 5:30, and then Director Monica Hunter will have her meeting at 4:30 at Manual High School, both at 5:30. They are talking about the cell phone policy. They're talking about current issues related to the budget, and then also talking about EL-19. That's around the boundaries as far as boundaries and enrollment zones. So a good conversation there. And then whatever the board member, other issues they want to bring up at Dr. Torres's meeting, we had a good conversation about school safety. Very, very great opportunity for families to get involved there. I'm also excited. I'm going to be serving on the Mill Levy Override Committee.
Nice.
It's pretty good. Yeah, come on. Yes, give it up. More committees. We love it. Yes, let's go. So we're excited about
Too bad
that.
that one can approve bathrooms,
Yeah.
since the mill levy goes
Okay.
directly to salaries and other
Exactly.
things that's inside the classroom.
Jessica's still a little sore about the last bond that was passed. She really wanted to make sure we had outdoor bathrooms, we
Just go to South, I'm just saying.
Yeah, just
Do you need to
so
use the
she's
restroom?
maybe on the next bond. Maybe you could get that on the next bond. So
There
to
you go.
Yesica's point, though. The difference between a bond and a mill levy, bonds are for capital improvements, for more structural stuff. And then when you get to mill levies, you can just say mill levies are simplified for programs and for people. So this is the mill levy override that will be put in place to talk about how do we get more money into the system based on the needs that we have for programs and for people, not for outdoor bathrooms, right?
Fortunately. I don't know.
That's great. Good thing I have my water. I'm dying.
So that's for November 2027 ballot.
Is it 26? No, it's
2026 ballot.
yes, I was going to say, 2026 ballot. So
Okay.
it's going to be a process that's going to move fast. Glad you said that. So right now, I think what's going on with the MLO is that we are currently in like the preparation and the strategic planning phase. How do we have these conversations with community? You guys know if I'm a part of a committee, we're going to definitely be making sure we're talking to community. So I will say this, it is because of the timeline we're on and you want to get something out by the November ballot, it's a very tight timeline. And so I think that we can still have a tight timeline, but still have depth of community engagement. And so coming up, April 21st, not August, April 21st. So we're gonna have competing meetings that day, Bryton. Yeah, we'll see who gets better turnout, you or me. You're gonna have your Aurora Public Schools meeting there at Central, but then we'll be having a mill levy override meeting at Gust Elementary, which is in southwest part of Denver. Be meeting at Gust Elementary, and then on April 27th we'll be meeting at Westerly Creek. May 4th we'll be meeting at Home Elementary. May 6th will be at Tre Vista. May 12th will be at Rasa, and then May 14th will be at Whittier Elementary. So it's all of these. It's all across the district to get feedback and input from communities. So very important because this is going to be looking at things like, to Yesica's point, teachers and staff salaries are usually what mill levies look at. Classroom programs and materials. Maybe some career and technical education, and then student support services. Those are some things that we've supported in all previous mill levies. I know that we have, because of the bond that Yesica was so happy to be a part of. The bond there you did vote yes on this one, was to approve the 4 regional CTE sites. You did.
I just voted no on something else.
Yeah, but to vote,
Buses.
you voted yes on the CTE. So every region's going to have a CTE site. So I know that they're looking at a mill levy that will help ensure that we have the right staffing levels there, the right people working there. These are just suggestions too. These are just some ideas that have already come out. And as you take some of this stuff and have dialogue with community, these things could change. But definitely looking at teacher and staff salaries. Classroom programs and materials, like we said, and then student support services. Some of the mental health work that we championed in the past has been supported through some of the mill levy override work. And personally, I'm looking forward to seeing some of that stuff in there. But like, if you were going to look at those things, like Bryton, what are you funding? You've got teachers and staff salaries. I'm putting you on the spot, right? You got teachers and staff salaries, Bryton. You got classroom programs and materials. You got CTE stuff, and you got student support. What is Bryton's priority list right there? Make sure you say the right thing, Bryton.
You want me to rank them?
No. What, I mean, as you look at those things and you kind of know from a student perspective, like, where should we make those investments? What do you think?
You said one more time.
Teacher and staff salaries. Okay. Classroom programs and materials. Some career technical education, so CTE, or student support services, and that's usually around mental health, social workers, psychologists, stuff like that.
I'm in between two.
Okay,
I would say student support, and then also the career technical.
Oh, okay. Bryton comes out the gate prioritizing student support services and career and technical education. Very student agenda. Yeah. Right there, student prioritization right there.
But we have to take care of our teachers also. So
okay.
I won't leave them out.
Okay. There we see.
Because we have to have good teaching first and foremost.
Okay.
But the kids can't learn efficiently and effectively if their mental is not correct.
Right, because what we say is like, before a kid can, engage in a great education, we got to hit that baseline of kids thriving. Yeah. Right? So are they healthy, housed and safe and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think I could look at that, but I'm interested to see. Definitely, we always know, teachers and staff, we got to make sure we're paying people livable wages, and I think sometimes livable wages to me is like, that's just like the thing people say, right? Yeah. We got to make sure we're paying people wages that they can live, right? And really,
not just survive.
Not just survive. How do we also make sure that we're ensuring that people are able to thrive with the things that they're getting? Yesica, where are you dropping your money at?
CT, yeah.
Okay. CT, career technical education, that's a big deal. And with those 4 centers dropping, you got to make sure that those things really get off the ground and do well for kids. So, CTE, sound guy, we're gonna say like we'll give him some sound effects and he can rank his. So, teachers and staff salaries. Are you clapping that one out there, sound guy? No, sound guy. He's this guy. Oh, that's this guy. What about for student support services? What about student support services? We're waiting for him. What does he say? Yes, okay. Student support services, they get an applause. Career technical education? What? Sir, career technical education. It's like what you do. He doesn't want anybody to come and take his job. That's what it is. See, I told you. He's protecting his job. He doesn't want us to fully fund CTE so he can keep his job. That's great, right? So Yesica said this earlier, but there's common confusion about a school bond and the mill levy, and it's just a simple way to talk about those things is mill levy pays for ongoing expenses that are related to like people and programs, and school bond pays for buildings and infrastructure, so like new schools and repairs. I think air conditioning was a big thing when we were on the
Right.
we were on the CPAC together.
Yeah.
What else was a big deal there? Yesica did.
Turf.
Yeah.
It was a lot of auditoriums.
Right.
A lot of things like that. But one thing to know, I think in Denver specifically, there's a good track record of Denver voters voting yes almost every single time, right? For both the mill levies and the bonds.
Yeah, and those are the things. Yeah, we don't take those for granted. I think I think everybody has to appreciate that Denver voters have always been, let's not say always, but they have been consistently supportive of the efforts to improve what are taxpayer assets, right? Those buildings and the things within inside the buildings, they've been very good at supporting that, right? We had a good conversation at the Northwest Community Meeting Bryton. There was a gentleman there who was pretty
persistent on his views.
Yeah, he was very worked up about this part of the district, and yes, there's a lot of financial lingo that you could talk about. Maybe we'll get Chuck Carpenter on to talk with us more about this, but. Again, mill levy people and programs, you're talking about the bond is paying for buildings and infrastructure. This is the thing, too, we talked about Colorado schools are funded. Let's see if Bryton knows this. How are Colorado schools funded, Bryton? Let's see. I know this is not in your major at Regis, but, let's see.
No, you sent me a text.
I sent you a text about it. That's a good point.
Sure
Let's see if he actually read the text message.
I did read the text.
Sound effect guy should have gave you that because, I don't know. Do you think he read the text message,
I
sound
did
effects?
read the text message.
I don't know.
Okay. Where they're funded from?
Dun, dun, dun.
It's just crickets. This guy. This is.
This is a bad look.
It is not. It's not a bad look. It's just let's see. You could cheat and look at your text message, but it was there. but there's a state share, right, Bryton?
Yes.
You
I gotta find it.
gotta find it.
You
There's
have
a lot.
like 30 group chats.
That's
That is a common problem here at the Faith Bridge workspace. Is every single day you'll get added to a new
group chats. Let's hear it
new
for group chats.
chat.
Come on.
And then when you're trying to find something, you never do.
Group chats, man. That's how we stay informed. That's how we stay connected. Everybody's on the same page. Because I forget that I already have an existing group chat, so I make another one.
That's bonded.
My team hates it. But state funding, when you usually folks go to mill levies because state funding is not enough, right? State funding, Yesica could tell you, we just finished budget week and they just did the long bill and all this kind of stuff at the state level. And while education didn't take that many cuts directly when it comes to like per pupil funding and all that kind of stuff, our per pupil funding is still not at the level that we would say is equitable.
Right.
And not helping to fully meet the needs of students. And so cities, districts go after mill levies because they want to make sure that they have the resources that they need to serve kids. Do you remember a program in your school that you really liked, Yesica, that when you were
in high school?
A program.
Whoa! Did you get the? She can remember high school.
I don't know if I can. It's a long time ago.
Back in the day.
Back in my day.
Where were you in the 90s? Isn't that the trend going on right now?
In the 90s.
You weren't even here, Bryton.
Nope.
Wow, jeez.
Wasn't even a dot in the sky.
Wow, so depressing.
Yeah, wow, and this just
not
took a turn.
necessarily a program, but a class. That's where I fell in love with the French language.
Oh, parlez-vous
'Cause I-
français?
Yeah, because I took French.
Are you going to give us
in-
some French while you're? Can you
What do you want to say?
something in French? I said parlez-vous français, and you say,
Oui, je peux pas un peu de français.
"Oh, look at this! We are bilingual here on the Justice Cast, boy. You can't get this anywhere else." So French class. I mean, so that's something that you could, that teacher's position could be
Right,
something that was
teacher's
funded through.
position. Mhm.
What about you, Bryton?
We're talking clubs or just classes?
Couple classes, like because as Caleb was as our sound guy, I'm not supposed to say his name. Dang it. They're gonna get him. The ops are coming down. So, what's a class that you could think about, that really, when you think about a mill levy? Hey, this mill levy might have supported this.
I'd have to be like strength and conditioning class.
Okay, well, yeah, it doesn't look like you took that, but that's okay. No, I think for me, for it's like band, I think knowing that the band programs, not only when I was in school, but I think when I
We
was
always knew he was a band nerd.
definitely proud to be a band nerd, man. Carry my alto saxophone proud, right? But I think those kind of programs, oftentimes are funded through mill levy dollars. I think like the one-to-one technology, and we can argue about.
I didn't have any technology.
Right.
Just kidding. I don't
You-
remember.
Didn't have any
That's right.
technology.
Back in it, we're sorry.
We had a library full of computers.
We had
Library.
we had books, Bryton. We actually went to books. What was remember you had to go and search for books, and you had to go into a little catalog thing and find out where
Yeah.
they were.
I never understood the system,
That
so
was
I
it.
would always just give up. I don't
See?
really need it.
System was not just. You just go running down the library lanes
Just
and
looking for
books. Bryton doesn't even know what we're talking about because he's
no clue.
no clue.
Scroll for the book online.
Okay.
Oh,
But listen, I don't know if Bryton could type like how they taught us to type.
we had
That
typing
is the
class.
one thing.
Oh, you had typing class.
I don't know. I see
I
a
know-
lot of Gen
I know
Z
how to-
not knowing how to
What do you
actually
call that,
type without
Bryton?
looking.
The
Can you
what?
type without looking?
Yes.
You
What do
could
you-
look at me and you could type full sentences.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
I've typed for long enough to know that.
I wish we could. But what do you call that? Where you're placing your fingers right now? This is
I
how
don't
you know the test.
All I know is F and J is the top. Or like
Okay. See.
The starter.
Who
You put
failed
your
him?
pointer
Who
fingers.
failed him at Vista Peak? It's called the home row, brother. You
Oh,
gotta
yeah. Home
put
row.
your fingers on the home
I
row.
don't even
and
type like that. So I don't even-
that gets
Yeah,
you everywhere.
exactly.
So those are the kind of things that Mill Levy could fund, like typing classes for all kids, cursive class for all kids, right?
Bring
Arts
back cursive.
programming. Here we go. Bring back
Cursive.
cursive.
Art.
So I think this is also a thing when we look at hourly workers and what we're paying bus drivers, what we're paying paras, what we're paying those sped paras, all of those things that you can look at when you're talking about a mill levy. And so the reason that there's a mill levy override, what you're saying is there's a current cap that the district has, and so the district is saying, hey, we want to increase that, and so you have to take that to voters. And again, it's a local voter, it's a local vote to increase the property taxes specifically to give more money to public schools for operating costs. And so we'll be talking more about that as we get going. But again, those meetings that we talked about that are going to be coming up in Denver Public Schools related to this, where community, what I'm hearing is that community gets to come in and we get to play around with budgets, and we get to actually say, oh, how much would this idea cost? And we do this here and we do that, and you kind of balance the budget and think that's, we've used this tool before with DPS to help communities understand how budgets get balanced. So it'll be a great thing to test that tool and to, get that out in front of community. So April 21st, they're going to be at Gust Elementary, April 27th at Westerly Creek, May 4th at Home Elementary, May 6th at Tre Vista, May 12th at Rasa, and then May 14th at Whittier. So we're going to have fun, talking about what we're going to do with that, what proposal we're going to put forth, if there's a proposal put forth, because this is really, the committee and community will put forth recommendations to the Board of Education to say, hey, this is what we're thinking, this is what we think our school needs, could we do this, right? And so I think the BOE would not vote on this until like August, so they could get on the ballot. And then I think August through November, you go through community talking about this stuff, and then November 2026, this would be on the ballot. So this is an exciting thing for our district. And to Yesica's point, the community has been very supportive of Denver Public Schools, both of the assets of buildings, but also of the students and the teachers in the building. So it's pretty exciting, pretty exciting. Bryton, going back to your time in school, what would you say? You've got a lot of folks who are now accepting, getting accepted to college. What do you think a graduating senior should really look for when they're talking about, what school they're going to go to? What was important to you? Why Regis?
Well, with my major with health and exercise science and the hopes to go into physical therapy, Regis is known for their physical therapy program as being one of the top in Colorado. So that was a key, that's what fit me. If you're a graduating senior, I would suggest that make sure you know what you want to do because, again, college is not afraid to take your money. And if you're not sure, you can waste time and money, and it's not just time. Time is more important, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Make sure the college that you want to go to fits what you feel like you want to do. Like if you want to go into business, make sure the college you want to go to is a business school. If you want to go to medical, Regis is known for nursing, so a lot of nurses. If you want to go into nursing, Regis is a great program. And then there's also other great schools like DU, CU Boulder, CU Denver, UCCS.
He didn't even mention Metro. What the heck?
And, Metro.
He's looking right at you. I mean, he
And
avoided
Metro,
it. He avoided it, right?
Metro State.
Metro
Roadrunners.
State University, bro. Put some respect on that, right?
On the Roadrunners.
Yeah, don't disrespect the
Yeah.
Roadrunners, right? But as far as culture, campus culture, what should students look for is there? I mean,
Culture. I would definitely say
should they rank them or is this a party school or not? I'm just kidding,
I mean, you can.
Oh, that's what you
but,
did? No, I was just testing
Partying
it.
can get you in trouble.
Exactly.
You can always go to another
So look at this:
school with a party.
partying, procrastination, all the P's getting you in trouble.
Yep, sure do.
There you go.
But you can always go to
PlayStation.
another
See, it's a P. All those things get you
all
in
the
trouble.
P's, yeah.
Yeah.
But for culture, I would say you can always go to another school to party. But make sure you're getting your education is good. Like Regis is not a party school for me, at least, and what I do.
He's saying that because his mother's probably watching this.
Yeah, I don't party. I don't even know what a party is, really.
There you go.
Yeah. But I would say, just make sure it's fitted to you. Culture, you'll find plenty of people.
Did you visit Regis before you accepted there?
Mm-hmm.
And so you would recommend that students actually visit the college?
I would
before
say
they go?
visits. I know HBCUs have their HBCU tours, so those are nice to go on. But definitely visit and get a feel kind of what the community is like in college before you fully commit. It's not like it's hard to get out of, but you don't want to waste a year in somewhere you don't want to be. That makes your college experience worse. So
Now, Yesica, back in the day, before we had color
Back in the
what you went to college, it's based on
Okay.
Bryton, right?
Yeah.
You were first gen. What's the advice you give to first gen students who are maybe this is their first time, they're the first in their families to be making this college step? What's the advice you give to them? What should they be doing? And their nerves. How do you calm their nerves? Right now, you're going to be the magical calmer of nerves of all first gen folks. So
I don't know if I could necessarily calm the nerves,
Yeah.
but I definitely understand how hard of a process it is. You feel it's a lonely road. That's how I felt. I was just the first one in my family to graduate high school, to graduate college. I had really no one to turn to ask questions. I went to a commuter college, so just in and out, worked 40 plus hours a week. Didn't really build relationships, didn't have a mentor, didn't really have anyone to talk to. So I just had a lot of build up frustration and was mad the entire 4 years, I would say, because I was, I had a lot of work to do. I had so much homework. I didn't really get taught how to study, how to be organized. So I had to learn that all in the fly, and just not being able to really share that frustration with anyone was pretty hard. But but at least I guess a glimmer of hope is to the seniors, the juniors, to get to know your counselors. I didn't keep in touch with my counselor, but she was the one that applied for all the colleges for me, applied for FAFSA, DSF scholarship, so I didn't pay a single cent for college. So I think that was my main motivation to finish. It's a free education, which I believe all college education should be free. But I think
That's
in
going to be her
general, just
campaign,
go.
her campaign slogan
Yeah.
when you run for office.
Yeah, I don't think education, you need to pay it for education. But yeah, just going to your counselors, just asking them for help. Even, I would say that, like, you don't necessarily know the questions to ask, but if you just go sit down, you meet them, you build that relationship, they will really help you out. And I gotta say, like, the DSF office at Metro State was really good. I didn't really know what was going on, but like every single year or like twice a year, like for each semester, they would email me. I would make an appointment with them. They would help me. They would literally do like all the things that they needed from me, for me. So that was really, really helpful.
Shout out to our
and
partners at DSF, right?
Yeah.
They do good work.
Yeah,
Is there gala coming up? Like it's about to be gala season for
it's
us.
about to be gala season.
So we get
Gotta
to go
get
to-
your dresses, your heels, everything on.
Can't wait to throw mine on.
Yeah, of course.
You mean your dress shoes?
Oh, my dress shoes, whatever. Whatever I feel like wearing that day.
Yeah,
Whatever the
Dresses
theme.
are very comfortable.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
gonna be the
try
theme,
it out.
Bryton.
Just
Yeah,
kidding.
well, I'm gonna be on the theme. So, I think what I hear too you saying, Yesica, that's very important is like find a mentor, right? Like it's hard to go that road by yourself. Like find a mentor. Reach out to us here at Faith Bridge. We got some great folks here. Yesica's one of them who we want to see the young people that work with us get to and through college and persist, right? Because it's hard. To her point, like. And if you hear Bryton saying he probably making it sound a little bit easier than it is, but
Oh no, it's not.
yeah, exactly. 'Cause,
Especially these last 2 weeks, I've been drowning.
yeah, we see him coming here all the time. We're just like, man, who beat you up? And then he just tells us college. College did it to me, right?
Yeah.
So really, really, really glad to have those two perspectives, and glad that you could join us today on this afternoon live of our JusticeCast. And again, Bryton, tell them what's coming up in Aurora Public Schools on the 21st.
We have our in-community engagement meeting. Board
And tell them what
meeting.
that is, because it's a big deal. This is a big deal.
So Aurora Public Schools is having their first ever kind of out of office, you could say, board meeting and public comment. It will be held at Aurora Central at 6 p.m. in the large gymnasium. So
Aurora Central High School, home of the Trojans, right?
that's where my dad went to high school, actually. So I want
Boo.
Oh, man. Geez, that's way back in the day.
They didn't even have the black court.
Did
so
they? Yeah,
it was
that.
tan,
You're
Wow.
gonna get
Mine
beat
for
up by the time you get home.
Yeah, you're going to get, dad's jumping on you, right? If he can still jump.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
He might be jumping both of y'all.
Yeah,
Y'all
he's gonna
keep
get-
talking.
He got a car. He might use that.
He definitely
Just
might
run
do that.
them over.
So April 21st,
At
what's it? You
6
said
p.m.
6 p.m.
Yep.
at Aurora Central High School, right there in Aurora North. Great things going on at Aurora Central.
Yep.
Very, very excited about the Aurora Public Schools Board coming out into community to do this. So it's going to be great.
Yep.
Bryton will be there. Some of our team will be there. The rest
It's a
of our team.
public comment day too, so if
Yeah,
you
some
want to sign up,
students.
you sign up in person at day of the meeting. Just get there maybe 10-15 minutes earlier, and you could sign up in person to do public comment.
Yeah, it's great. Any issue that you got with the Aurora Public Schools, even if you got something that you want to that's positive. A lot of times people think public comment means I've got to come and complain, and sometimes it can be I'm coming to celebrate. Like there are some great things that are going on. Kids are experiencing great things, some great interactions with teachers. So you can also use public comment as a tool to celebrate. You can critique, definitely, but you can also bring your ideas. Like if you have an idea, you can use public comment to share your ideas with the board. So definitely coming on out to that, to Aurora Public Schools Board of Education meeting in the community at Aurora Central High School on April the 21st at 6 p.m. Come and see Bryton. As a matter of fact, come and see Bryton and take a picture with him. We want to see how many pictures he can get taken, and we throw up on our Instagram pictures with Bryton at the Aurora Public Schools board meeting.
sure I have
And
a
then
haircut.
those of you who are in Denver and you're excited about this, discovering like what could a mill levy package look like, a mill levy override package look like to help our educators and our students, the people in the programs within the buildings. We'll be having that meeting at Gust Elementary on April 21st. We'll start like we've been doing with the board meetings, like at 5:30 will be like a dinner, and then the meeting will kick off around 6 o'clock, 6:30 as well, to ensure that the most people can participate. We really want to pack the room. I really do on these conversations about the mill levy override, because I think because community is going to, approve this, and they should really be about, shaping what does the package look like and how does the package meet the needs for us. So a lot going on, plus what Yesica just told you about everything going on in the state. We're about to get down to the wire at the state, because state session ends about mid-May?
Maybe like 15,
Yeah.
13, something like that.
Yeah, mid-May, and unless they extend it a little bit, but so we are coming down to the wire at the work that we do at the state. So a lot of opportunities for our folks to plug in with testimony, to go to committee hearings, and to continue to push forward the bills that we have prioritized. A lot of bills. I think we got 26 bills that we've been tracking, watching all session, which is just a small fraction of the many bills that have been produced this year. So very excited about that. Again, your voice matters. Your voice matters to your voice matters. I can't say it enough. Your voice matters. And so thank you again, Bryton, for joining us this week, our Chief of Advocacy, who will be a staple on this as we move forward. We just appreciate that. And shout out to our tech guy. Come on now, give it up.
Yeah, that's on the fact.
Right. That's now we ain't had sound effects for most of it, but that one, when you shout him out, it's right there. The behind the scenes productions of the JusticeCast. Excited to just do this again and be back on the air, sharing our perspectives and insights on all things that are Aurora Public Schools, Denver Public Schools, state level advocacy, city level advocacy. Everywhere decisions are made, that's where we are. Thank you for joining us here on the JusticeCast.
They say your libraries.
Go to a library. She's got a library card. Show them your library card. So, she's very proud about that today, people.
I didn't get it today. I've been having it.
Okay, I didn't say you got it today, but she's finally used it. So we're very happy about that. Go visit your public libraries.
Give it some love.
Yeah, give them some love, too. All right? Thanks for joining us on the JusticeCast.